Hey JBIC members, welcome to our final video for the technology calls for October of 2014. This is the other category. So here we go. So it's hard to ask questions when you don't know what to ask. Do you have information or training on all the pieces we need at a minimum? Options to consider, tech requirements like Aweber, how or where to have audio recordings accessible, as well as provide awesome tips like don't say Merry Christmas when recording. I'm finding it hard to follow some questions when I don't even know what they're referring to. Yeah, I know, it's kind of tricky. I guess off the top of my head, well, first of all, I don't know of any formal trainings or recordings on this. This is sort of, you guys have a need and you say, how can I do this, how can I do that, and I tell you what works. But we do recommend what I like to call the big three, which if you watch the first video, the one on, I think it's web pages for October 2014, I went into some detail about this, but the big three are Leadpages, to collect your names and email addresses, then one shopping cart. I want to say just to kind of do everything else, which means collecting money and email, like storing the email addresses, letting you do email marketing, letting you sell your products, having affiliate programs and manage affiliates and reports and one-click upsells, just basically like a lot of the business stuff you need. And then the third part is optimized press, which lets you create content for your customers, web pages with video or PDFs or like membership sites, all that stuff. It's all bundled into optimized press. So those would be the big three. As far as like recording teleseminars and webinars, what we recommend is Instant Teleseminar. And it does everything you need except for showing full motion video. So if you need to show your own self on the screen or show your screen, like share your computer, it's not so good for that. But if you can just show PowerPoint slides or do phone presentations, Instant Teleseminar will serve you really, really well for a long time, maybe even forever. It's what Rich and Milana use, it's what I use, it's what most successful business leaders use, especially in the coaching and training niche. So that's what I would say as far as what you need at a minimum. It would be a way to collect names and email addresses, which would be Leadpages, to store them in one shopping cart, to then do email marketing, to drive people to your teleseminar or webinar, which would be the Instant Teleseminar part, and then collect their money, which would be the one shopping cart part, manage affiliate commissions, that's there too, and then to deliver the content would be optimized press. So these are kind of the biggest things, and you might go through and watch some of the other videos and hear questions, and that might spark other tools that you may want to look into. But off the top of my head anyway, I would say that these would be the things you want to really focus on and learn about and compare and find out. I mean, there are free versions of a lot of these things out there, but oftentimes free does not always mean better. It can indicate low quality or can have problems. And yeah, again, the acid test I use for recommending things is, do I know anybody else using that solution? And with these, I know lots of successful people using these solutions. I don't know a lot of people using, for instance, a WordPress plugin to manage an affiliate program. So, okay, next question is Visita, I think I'm saying that right, recommended for scheduling free consultations. I signed up for free after my first JBIC orientation call, but now they send me sales emails. Yeah, I don't really know this company very well. It's possible that Rich or Milana recommended them. I just don't have a lot of knowledge about Visita. I do know that for scheduling consultations, I love Time Trade. It's right here, Time Trade. It used to be called Time Driver. And I think it's like 30, 40, 50 bucks a year for it. But it's nice because you can let people schedule appointments with you, and it'll go into your Google Calendar or your iCal, I think that's what Apple calls theirs, or your Microsoft Outlook calendar. It'll put all this stuff on your calendar. It'll also respect your existing appointments. You can go through and set a bunch of different types of appointments. So like I've got different URLs if people want to schedule a 30-minute call with me versus a 60-minute call versus a 2-hour call and stuff like that. So if somebody wants to have a 2-hour call with me, I can send them a PayPal link, and then I can have the thank you page from my PayPal link be my Time Trade link to schedule that call, or I can set it up in my shopping cart. So they pull out their credit card and they pay, and then the thank you page is the Time Trade link. So it really works well as far as scheduling. I just don't know enough about Visita to recommend it. But I do know Time Trade. It's been around for a long time. Works really, really well. And that's what I would recommend for scheduling. Okay, what is the best way to learn how to make a product that is ready for JV partners to accept? I would say that's probably the product creation clinic that Rich and Milana just recently held. I don't know if the recordings are available, or if you didn't get access to it, maybe you can buy it, but you know, it's going to be totally congruent with everything you're doing in the JVIC. And Rich and Milana are experts at creating products, so that's where I would go for how to learn to make a product. And then so they can have access to the analytics. I'm not sure I've connected the dots on that. I know Google Analytics can be a really good way to sort of track every page and visitor and country and detail about where people go. The key is you have to set up analytics for, I think they call it a property, and then you want to make sure that that code is on every single page that people might possibly go to. There are WordPress plugins that'll put your analytics code on every page of your WordPress site. Within Leadpages, for example, you can put your Google Analytics code inside each of your lead pages. So I mean, there are ways to do it, but I think that's what you're asking. I'm not sure. But then you can go into Google Analytics and you can see all the pages and visitors and so on that people have, that people have visited on your site. And then what programs do we use? Shoot, I'm not. Maybe that's related to the previous two questions. So I think what you're looking for though is product creation clinic. I think that's your main question. That's how you can learn to create products. If someone were to ask me just off the top of my head, hey Rob, how do you create a product? I would say you hold a series of teleclasses and record it, and then you can put those audios to slides using PowerPoint and convert those into JPEGs. You can then use a software called Camtasia to marry the JPEGs to the audios and even have like a video course. That might be how I would create a product or recommend you create a product, but it's up to you, and I would definitely try to check out the product creation clinic if you've got access to it. Okay, next question. I have a squareup account but don't like the scheduling feature. Yeah, I guess I don't even know what a squareup account is. I think this Square question came up before, and I was thinking it was where you swipe your credit card on your mobile phone to take payments, but I'm not sure what a squareup account is. I like acuity scheduling. Doesn't have the nice shopping cart widget. People have to buy through squareup, schedule classes and appointments through acuity. Any ideas for better integration? Yeah, I don't know squareup enough to answer your question. You might contact their support and ask them. But as far as scheduling, I do love TimeTrade. So I mean, once again, I'd recommend you guys check out TimeTrade. I think you'll like it. That's what I would do for my scheduling. Even if I was using something else to process orders and stuff, I would still point people to my TimeTrade account. And I like to use a Google Calendar because it works so well with all the other Google products. But if you have like Outlook or Apple's iCal, you can do it. It also integrates with TimeTrade. Okay, next. I've almost finished creating a consumable book on planning. That is a book a person would buy over and over again. Okay, so a consumable book, meaning they keep buying the book, I guess, so they could fill it out or whatever. Can you help me with the title, please? No, I can't. I'm not a title guy. I'm pretty good at marketing, but I'm really here in the capacity to serve you guys with technology. I will tell you though just a couple of things. One is you may check out some of the Amazon bestsellers in your category and see if you can notice any of the magic with their titles. A title is a really important part of a book. Another thing you might consider is that Tim Ferriss, the guy who wrote the 4-Hour Workweek, the way he came up with his title is he just ran a bunch of different Google ads. You can use Facebook ads or Google ads with a bunch of different titles and just chose the winner based on how many people clicked on which ad. So people loved the concept of a 4-hour work week, so that's the title he went with. So that's a way to sort of split test your titles. You can also ask focus groups within your niche, which title they like best. I've seen people do that, or ask your peers. But I'm not a title guy, so I can't really help you with your title. Okay, next, I would like to create an online quiz as a free opt-in. Yeah, that's an awesome thing to do, by the way. What's the best way to do this? I've only done this for a couple of people, and I actually did it in a programming capacity. Like I helped them create it from. So I'm not aware of any products or programs that do this, or at least I've never used any. I did find one online that looks pretty good. Let's see. Right here at tryinteract.com, and if you want to see the pricing, you can put /plans on the end. Tryinteract.com, but it looks kind of expensive. If you're looking for a free solution, you're not going to find it here. But if you're looking for a high-quality quiz solution, you will find it here. From what I read, I did a tiny bit of research on this, found somebody that was raving about this as a way to do exactly what you're wanting to do, which is basically build your list using quizzes. So I love the idea, and I think you should follow up. There are also, I'm sure, lots of WordPress plugins that let you create a quiz. You just want to make sure that basically when people land on your page, ideally a lead page, to get their name and email address, you send them to the quiz, that somehow you're still, everything's all connected. That would be the key, is making sure everything's all connected. One thing you can do is drive people to a quiz, and then they fill it out, and you say, great, now give us your name and email so we can send you your quiz results. So you might consider that when checking out different quiz solutions. And then it says, what are your thoughts about ClickFunnels? I don't know what that is. If that's a product, I have not heard of it. If it's a concept, I don't know it by those words. So sorry, I can't really tell you my thoughts on ClickFunnels other than that I don't have any. Yeah, and don't really think it's necessary for what we're doing here in the JDIC, which really here, your whole goal here is to find joint venture partners who will tell their list about you and send them over to, ideally, to your lead page or some kind of opt-in page where people opt in, they get to know you, and then they attend some kind of presentation that you might give on instant teleseminar, or maybe it's a series of videos or whatever it is, but they get to know you, and then you ask them to buy from you. And then when they buy from you, you collect the money and you pay out affiliate commissions to your partners, you thank them for the joint venture, and then you deliver on your promises. You deliver your content to the right people. And you can do all that with everything that I just mentioned here, with the exception of showing a series of videos. For that, you might, well, within Optimized Press, you can show videos, but you have to host your videos somewhere. And you can use YouTube if you don't mind the YouTube logo, but you can also use Vimeo if you need a more professional solution that's low cost. I think it's like $200 a year, but you get a whole lot of bandwidth in videos. Okay, so, but I love the idea of online quizzes. That's fantastic if you can make it work. And I've shown you a solution that I believe will work, though I have not tested it. I just read some really good stuff about it. And there also might be some free solutions like plugins for your WordPress site. Next question, couldn't find Jing. Can you tell the real link? Yeah, Jing is actually J-I-N-G rather than G-I-N-G. That might have been the problem. But it's over here at techsmith.com. If you go to tech, T-E-C-H, like technology, and then Smith, like the common last name, S-M-I-T-H, techsmith.com/jing.html. You'll find it. Or you can just go to TechSmith's website and search for Jing. I'm sure it's here somewhere. Here it is, Jing. Free download, works with Windows and Mac. And what Jing does, for those of you that don't, it's not in your short-term memory, it lets you record your screen. You can record like up to 5 minutes of video or even screenshots, quickly upload them to Jing's servers and share them with people. It's great for sending quick little videos of what's on your computer screen to people. Really, it's super helpful in tech support situations, so you can show somebody exactly where the problem is. And then last question, what is the address for sourceforge.net? Couldn't find it either. Yeah, you're just, you added a D on there. That's the problem. It's sourceforge.net. So it's actually sourceforge.net like that. So I'm going to leave that the way it is so I can copy and paste that into YouTube later. But let me just pull up the site, SourceForge, right here. S-O-U-R-C-E-F-O-R-G-E, sourceforge.net. And that has just a library of tons of free software you can use, though it's oftentimes not supported. It's just simply called open source software. And you might go look around there and see all their different solutions. It's great if you just need to absolutely not spend money on software. But again, none of the 6- and 7-figure people that I work with use free stuff like this. They use paid solutions which are supported and more respected and oftentimes simply perform better. But SourceForge is definitely a fun place to look around. Okay, so we're going to wrap up this video and the entire video set for October 2014. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.